chug a gallon of milk, we'll throw up.
What about instead of Epicat?
Yeah.
X-Lax.
Well,
the
problem is it's tough to time it, especially if you have 3 people doing it.
That's true.
And then you also have to register on the sex offender watch list.
No, you just say I have Crohn's or something. You know.
That's true. Yes.
I might develop Crohn's from it.
Also, colitis. I pick one of the more niche bowel ailments.
Like,
I don't know, ulcerative colitis. I don't know. There's Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. There's IBS. I don't know.
IBS. That's one each.
There you go. That's one each. All right, Muck. It seems like they got lazy with Pokemon names at a certain point. Like Pikachu, Charizard, and like just Muck. Whatever. What the hell's the difference?
Yeah, who's the guy's last day?
These hologram cards sell themselves. Why do you even care?
Dirt guy.
Yeah, dirt guy.
What was the one? The best one we've ever seen on the show was
We're going.
Guzzlord.
That was a slur for sure.
Yeah, no.
We thought it was.
We definitely thought it was for sure.
Video was great.
It was great. All right, let's grab another one. Last one.
Wiglet.
It's too close. I swear to you, if it is a Pokemon, it's just more proof that Japanese are racist.
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jody.
What do you think?
I'm gonna say, look at that little Wiglet.
Whoa.
And I'm also gonna say that it is a cute Pokemon.
It's a cute Pokemon. Yeah, you like the Wiglet.
Yeah.
You like the Wiglet. When the Wiglet shows up, the party gets started.
Wiglet.
Yeah. B. What do you think there, John?
Let's do this. Spelling bee used in a sentence.
Get out of here, Wiglet!
I don't like.
You don't serve
I
your
don't
kind.
like my daughter's new school. It's full of wiglets. or Wiglet, I choose you.
Yes.
I feel like it's that doesn't sound very tough, but that sounds right to me. I think it's a Pokemon.
You think it's a Pokemon?
Yeah, used in this sentence, I think it's a Pokemon.
You both think it's a Pokemon. See, it's not fair. I was going to say racial slur.
It sounds like Piglet, like from Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, exactly. But also that you're making the point for racial slur. Don't you remember Piglet? He was like, oh, poo, there's blacks.
Didn't see that.
Which movie was that?
Yeah.
And then Tigger like, they're bringing down our property values. What? Tigger, it's wrong to hate.
Yeah,
And then Eeyore said, they'll never get it right. They don't have enough dads. Stop it, Eeyore! I said to him.
Here goes the neighborhood.
Oh, Wiglet! All right.
I'm gonna go with Pokemon.
I have definitely entrenched myself far more damningly than you have on this one. I am going to say racial slur only because you both are saying Pokemon, and this is the round where the person who gets it correct can steal all points. So I'm going to play by those rules, so you know what? Hey, it's a chance. Yeah, I steal all points if I get it right.
Okay. The answer is.
I steal all your points. I steal all the points.
Steal all the zeros.
And here it is.
Aw. It looks like a sperm.
It looks like a condom with a really irritated tip.
Reservoir, yeah.
Why? Why? These guys have to know when they're making these.
And they gotta have some kind of American consultant on this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're like, oh, Wiglet, to be very popular with kids. They're like, I don't think you know what that looks like. Shut up, Wiglet, make it look like a condom.
Full or empty?
Yes, full. Yeah, full. But he have a horrible problem with urethra. Go see a doctor. It's fun and educational. So
when do I get my belt?
well, you know what? Here's the thing. I didn't realize that today. What's the date today?
It's 8/15. It's tax day.
Oh, well, that's right. It's the rules.
Shit.
It's tax day.
That's right.
You have to pay your tax. And what? How many points do you have? You have 3 points.
3.
That's what you owe to the institutional revenue service.
And you take that.
Yeah, I take the 3 points.
Here.
So it's 0-0-0, and the issue there is to be the champ, you have to beat the champ. So I'm still world champion. I almost thought for a second I forgot about the tax day rule.
Yeah, that was close.
Thought that there would be a win in Gerald's chair, but no, it's still me. Valiant effort. This has been Pokemon Racial Slur. Yeah, the Pokemon in front of Auschwitz still gets me.
Well, you were
name is
watching.
Coughing.
You were watching him on YouTube. Because I think he is shadow banned on YouTube. I think.
Clearly,
I mean, you obviously follow him. That's why you got his notification. But I don't think he's getting put out there much.
I think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a gypsy.
Oh, is it? Also
Yeah, dude,
racist.
they're so racist. Things a Pokemon.
Yeah, I just don't. They don't have the same. They don't have the same chip in their brain for racism in Japan.
Yeah.
They just.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's shadow banned.
Black guy, they had him like eating a bunch of bananas on a billboard.
Just because of his views
It's
Look. They're like, hey, look, like a gorilla.
on subjects,
Like, you can't do
not
it. Like,
views
no,
in
look,
total.
Gorilla. I'm like, all right. I guess to you guys. It's
He's
fine.
got a good enough subscriber base to where he defeats
Yeah,
the shadow
they-
banning.
They are fascinated by black people in Japan.
But I don't think a lot of people that
Like 10
aren't
years ago,
following
they
him
want to take a picture with an American black
or subscribe to him are getting many notifications or anything
Yes.
like that.
Exactly. I mean, they probably think they're superior because the Japanese think they're superior to everybody.
yeah, sure, but that's not at birth rates.
Yeah, that's true.
Got him.
You did. Nailed them. They're going to be sticking for a week.
They are better at game shows, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, they are. Well, that's because the waiver, you sign away your right to life.
Yeah.
There's like they don't. It's like, you know, you get a pie in the face here, maybe there it's like a pie with spikes. Like, oh no, no face. It's incredibly dangerous. It's
Boiling hot.
Yeah. They play like tug of war over actual lava.
Oh, that's so.
Those are rules to pick it up or you die.
They do it right, though.
Yeah, they do. It's fun. And then we adapt them to the States, and it's not nearly as dangerous.
It turns into the floor is lava.
Yeah,
Seen
exactly.
that show?
No.
It's lame. My kids love it.
It's a floor actual lava?
No.
If it's not, then I don't
No,
know.
it's like a red water.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
No, it's good to hope so. But no, just water lit up, and there's like furniture, like couch cushions and stuff.
Isn't there some Japanese like
MXC.
MXC was the greatest show.
Yeah.
never saw it?
Oh, dude,
Oh
they
my
would
God.
they would do a dub over these like Japanese or Korean extreme, like a Ninja Warrior thing, but like with better obstacles.
Yeah.
And then they would have Americans dub over.
Oh,
And they would be like,
somewhat racist.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They were in the acceptable gray area.
I bet you probably couldn't do that anymore.
No.
Thanks, Biden. All right.
2005.
Let's grab let's grab our first chat. A couple of chats for the day, and of course you can go and watch Jeremy, the quartering there on Rumble, 5:30 Eastern. And Josh, you're gonna be at the Addison Improv tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, Addison Improv.
That's a lot of fun.
Near Dallas area.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Big spoon, little spoon. You're both spoons.
Yeah.
Have a chat.
All right, first chat from Mickey the Slick. Question: if there isn't WW3, what needs to happen for it to be considered World War III? How many countries need to be involved before it's considered such?
Huh. That's a good question. I think it just has to be seen as sort of international coalitions on two sides with international consequences. So I would say if you have China, Russia, Iran, and then that would result in the Israel, United States, and some other NATO nations.
I'll be right back.
That would probably qualify because if that.
Hopefully it
that would
doesn't
be
end
enough
before I
for
get
other
back
people
in.
to have to sort of, toss that line.
For both previous World Wars, I think that the qualifier was that all of Europe was involved and someone across the pond.
Yeah, well, for both the previous World Wars, it just had to be started by Germany.
Yeah, that's true. So you know what? If we see Germany acting tough here soon,
Yeah.
that's when you know you need to worry it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the.
But they're on our side this time, so
Kind of. I don't know whose side
they're
they're
not on Russia's side for sure.
No, they're definitely not on Russia's side, but they've been browbeaten into submission now. Like, just don't involve us.
Yeah.
We have no more national identity. We tried that a couple of times. It didn't turn out good. That's their position. What do you think, World War? How many people need to be involved, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably correct. Because, I mean, if you can make the argument Ukraine, there are many people involved, but I think when it's like troops on the ground,
Yeah.
you know, different coalitions, then
Well, I think if it's Russia, Iran, and if China is the big one, because if China gets involved, then Japan is very likely going to get involved with anyone who is not China.
Yeah.
Very likely to. Then of course, that's going to create conflict with North and South Korea. So it'll create some alliances immediately right off the bat, where you'd probably end up with active troops on the ground or military action from at least 6 or 7 nations on both sides, and I think that would be considered a world war. But it wouldn't be the same as previous world wars. You know, a lot of it would be fought in the age of information. I don't know if it would actually take place, or a significant portion of it, on American soil. It could, but I think that would certainly kind of push it over the edge to be considered a world war, or WW3.
NATO getting involved would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They need to start paying all these NATO nations. They should start paying. They owe all of their back pay, and then maybe we'll consider helping them. Until then, you're on your own. Next chat.
Question for the crew from Dark Stevie. Do you think Israel's invasion of Gaza hurt the Trump peace treaty with the various kingdoms? If so, could they have done anything different?
It's a good question. It doesn't seem that way right now when you're talking about Saudi Arabia, for example. If this member of the royal family came out and said, like, no, we know that Iran has been involved and they deliberately were trying to torpedo these peace treaties. I think it remains to be seen how it plays out. One thing that you have to keep in mind is the Palestinian people. They're not only being used by Hamas, they're being used by every nation in that area of the world, neighboring nation, who has refused to take them in. And it's not just right now, to be clear. When there isn't necessarily, imminent conflict, they refuse to take the Palestinians in. They don't want them, to be clear. They simply use them on the international stage when convenient to trot them out and try and claim victim status. The Palestinians, they don't have nowhere to go because of Israel. It's because of people who should be their allies. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, that when push comes to shove, it's not necessarily like a lot of these nations are going to be involved with international agreements that would, if they side with Palestine, necessitate them accommodating Palestinians. So they kind of are stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't know. I think it remains to be seen. I do think that Israel has a bit of an optics problem right now, largely because they're so effective. I'm not saying that that's wrong.
Right. Let's get the flock out.
I don't know about all of them. I don't know if anyone else did.
No, he's good. He's not the president right now, so I think his supporters don't blame him, and people there probably don't.
Yeah. All right. Let's grab another chat.
All right, this one's from
Oh, shit.
RD7211. Can I ask Jeremy if he got on a plane to get there? If so, good on you for facing your fears. I remember you saying how hard it was to get on a plane. Glad to see you on the rudder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My wife's a pilot too, so I live in constant fear.
Oh, wow.
I did get on a plane, and they got me a really nice big seat. And,
Nice. Did you throw up?
I had diarrhea.
What's
Well, he threw
You
out.
may have seen that video floating around on the internet. No, it was fun.
So your wife's a pilot,
Yeah.
and you almost never fly.
I've never been. No, I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate it.
Have
Like,
you flown in with her?
oh no,
Her flying?
female pilot? Are you kidding me? When I get on the plane, I'm still like checking the.
Okay. You're like, I hope it's a nice white guy.
Old too.
Yeah.
Honey, you're flying? Oh, okay.
So when was the last time you got on a plane?
It was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be, or were you going, this is not so bad, or you're going, never again?
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
If I have something to do, like, to me it was really important. This is a great opportunity for me to be on your show, and it's like, well, I just got to do it. Otherwise, I avoid it.
Yeah.
I'll drive.
Yeah.
For the most part, especially like flying kind of sucks now.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it's not, and flights are delayed, canceled, engines are falling off, doors are falling off.
Yes.
So like, I'd rather drive, but this would have been a very long drive.
Yeah, it would have been a pretty far trek. I'm that way too. I really don't like flying, but mainly because of the safety issues. Like being in an airport, you have nowhere to go. So
Yeah.
someone recognizes you, someone likes you, someone doesn't like you, you can get mobbed. It doesn't matter. If
I got dabbed up from the TSA guy. He was like walking over, and I was like, oh crap, because I had a microphone in my luggage, and it looked suspiciously like either a bomb or a sex toy.
Yeah.
So of course they had to open it, and he comes over like, "Why don't you show?" Like, okay, sweet.
Did you touch your penis? Well, he didn't like you that much.
Right.
He
Yeah.
has his rights to have touched.
Yes, he does. He does
He could
nothing.
have easily given you one of those backhanded pats.
Yes, he could have.
They give me those before. They can't find it.
No, they can't. No. And they searched for a long time.
They searched for a long time. Found nothing wrong.
That
Yeah,
came out of
I'm not a
nowhere.
big fan
What
of,
the fuck?
Flying either. It's one thing I avoid like the plague if I can, but this day and age, it's also one of those things too where a lot of
Fucking
people
dangerous,
complain,
man.
and rightfully so, because the airlines they receive a big supply of federal bailout
I
funds.
don't even see a legitimate
But once
reason
upon a
for
time,
it.
You know, air travel
Why
was
start
very
it right
expensive.
there
The
at the
seats were bigger,
entrance?
and they got a whole meal. Yeah, but it was not within reach for people to fly all the time. Like the idea of a cheap Spirit flight, for a couple $100 to go across, it didn't exist. And so they've just sort of had to adapt to the market of people want cheaper flights and want more access to flights. And so now it's basically one big giant cattle call. But that's what people, the market, are determining they want. So unfortunately, travel does suck. It's no longer fun, but more people can do it. They can do it with a bag.
I'd rather pay more if I had to wear a suit and I could smoke cigarettes.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
where's that? I mean, how's there not a niche that, like, remember there used to be Hooters Airline?
Yes, yes, I do.
Where's the, you got to wear a suit, but you can smoke cigarettes?
Yeah,
I think it didn't work out.
the Hooters airline?
Yeah, it failed.
No, of course it didn't work out.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah, because they couldn't find pilots. They wanted to promote from within.
Oh.
Yeah, there weren't any good Hooters pilots.
But the wings were great.
Yes,
Yeah.
wings were fantastic. They weren't falling off. Final chat, and we're going to see. Hey, it's Mike Chicklets on television. Let's grab
Commish?
one final chat.
This one is from Conspiracy Mama. Question for the crew. Do you think Biden's response to the Israel tax will actually hurt him at the polls? Will Biden's lack of support drive moderates towards Trump?
That's a good, because we're talking about the sort of really passionate left who hate Israel and how that's going to be a problem for Biden. I guess we didn't really touch on so much. Do we think that Biden's response will drive moderates toward Donald Trump? What do you think?
No.
No.
I think everything that's happening now, again, I'm not an expert, but it will drive people for more apathy.
Right.
Like we had so many votes last time. I don't think we're going to see anywhere near that number this time. There's a lot of people that have quietly checked out on Biden, are not happy, paying, going to the grocery store every week. I think they quietly blame Biden for that, and then I just think they're not going to show up.
Right.
I don't think they're going to be, vote for Trump now. No.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is a dynamic. I think this hurts Biden more so with his base, or a portion of his base. I will say this, like the people who hate Israel, that's not a small percentage of the Democrat voting base, to be clear. It's a very large percentage. I think it hurts him with those people in his party. I think what drives moderates to Donald Trump at this point, or undecided, however you want to categorize him, is the economy. I think the border right now, seeing as that is the single most important issue to most voters. I believe it was 63% last time I checked, where they said they believe it was a serious problem. So I think the other issues actually favor Trump, as far as the economy, as far as immigration, right? The issues, as far as people getting tired of the left going way too far, right? As far as still, even to this day, the COVID policy, the mandates, that pushed moderate people or uninvolved people toward Donald Trump. I don't think that this would push Democrats toward Donald Trump and Biden, but I do think it may push some of his base away.
The reluctant voters, right? The people that were Bernie voters, and they're like, well, Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
I think, and that's not nothing. Like you said, that's probably 3, 4, 5%
Right.
of the base. That's not nothing. You lose the election.
Well, and I think that's why if you look at the four-way races with, I don't know if it's, I know it's Kennedy, is it usually Kennedy and Stein who they use when they do the four-way race or a three-way race? The gap widens even more.
I don't even know if they know if Jill Stein's running. They just
assume
she assumed that she's still around.
I think I've seen some polls out there on RCP that also includes like Cornel West,
Yep.
Jill Stein,
Yeah.
and Kennedy, and I think a lot of those people, if they peel away from Biden, there are some people who will not vote Donald Trump no matter what. They go to Kennedy, and that's why the gap widens a little bit more. I think that Biden has a problem with his base. It's fractured, and Donald Trump has won the moderates, has won the undecided, because he really is the voice more so of middle America. He resonates with more people. This is one of those issues where Biden has to resonate with an extreme group of people who are anti-Israel at all times, period.
I think that, and I see that the DNC has been really pushing, the Biden campaign, I guess, too. Really been pushing how bad of a guy Trump is.
Right.
Like that's been their thing. Don't vote for Trump because he's such a bad guy. He did this, he's done this. Look at his trial. Look at what he did here. Look at that. It's never, look what I've done.
Right.
Look, it's 15 million jobs, and then that's it. Nothing else does he talk about.
Everybody's second job, you mean?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the only thing he's got is his so-called Bidenomics.
Right.
And his
JC.
increasing job. Nothing else does he tout as his accomplishments.
Yeah. And you know what else too?
These people, they're not going to vote for Trump, but they don't want it because they don't want it. They're like, oh, I've been told if I vote for Trump, I'm a bad person, but I can't vote for Biden. So, like you said, I think they're just not going to vote or vote for a RFK.
Yeah. I think also, don't underestimate the fact that even if you're dealing with a cult of personality, right? If you're dealing with people who go, who do I want to have a beer with? I think that has shifted. I don't know. You can comment. You can let me know. I don't think that people used to say, like, at least Biden is a decent man. I think that there's been enough time here where he's been in the spotlight, where people have actually had the opportunity to put him under a microscope. No one really did before because he was sort of inconsequential. I think people now don't really, but you know what? No, I don't actually think he's a nice guy. Look at the way he talks to reporters. Look at the way he talks about his political opponents. Look at his support for effectively these banana republic tribunals when you're talking about what they're doing with Donald Trump. Look at his support for political persecution. Oh, wait a second. Look at his dealings when you're talking about business with China, with Ukraine. Wait, hold on a second. Let's look at the fact that he was guilty of plagiarism when he was running for president, I believe in 1988, and he had to bow out. Look at him repeatedly yelling the N-word when he's there at a hearing live on television. Look at the way he treats black people and says they want to put y'all back in chains and continues to racially pander. Look at him saying that parents don't have the right to not put their children on puberty blockers, and he said he believes that that's one of the greatest evils. Look at the way he talks all the time, right? Before it was kind of, he was a guy who was kept there because, aw shucks, you know, Roy Rogers kind of situation with Barack Obama.
I might be down.
Sort of kind of classical dog
I may be
Democrat,
down.
so he could sort of balance out Barack Obama.
I've been dealing with some serious network issues at the D, so
People
I'm
now
hoping I'll
realize
get
that
a lot of that
Biden isn't
resolved
guy.
today, but we'll
And it
see.
kind of comes down to, if you have relatives, people often copy paste that and say, okay, I know people in my life like Donald Trump, and I know people in my life like Joe Biden. I have, let's say, an uncle, or I don't know, a third cousin like Donald Trump, who's bombastic, who exaggerates, who always has to be the center of attention, right? The energy at the party, and this person may be exhausting. But I would rather be around them than my other uncle, who's creepy, pretends to be nice, but he's always standing there with his hand out, and he'll stab you in the back. It comes down now to a question. I think people, when you're talking about the cult of personality, so we've talked about international affairs, okay, how that hurts Joe Biden. Talked about the issue with moderate voters, what has brought people over to Donald Trump. But then if you just get down to the lowest information voters who say, who do I think is cooler, or who do I want to have a beer with? Their decision, and I think they innately know it, even if they don't realize it, is, okay, do I want the guy, like former Vice President Joe Biden, who will smile to my face and stab me in the back, as he has done repeatedly, or the guy who tells me he's going to stab me and then does it in my chest? If you're picking the lesser of two evils, I still think it becomes a pretty clear decision, and that wasn't apparent in the last election. Now it is. You can comment and tell me if I'm wrong. We're going to see you tomorrow with more of this.
Just checking something out. Let's find great. All right. Sorry, guys. Watching the Watchers. Perfect timing.
Issues, and the judge is not going to be recusing himself, so we'll go through the play-by-play. I know Inner City Press, Matthew Russell Lee's there, and it is it's going to be a day. So I know it might feel a little bit deflating, depressing, you know, to see the former president, the current presidential candidate nominee for the Republicans, be put through the ringer like this. And I agree. You know, it's a little deflating, a little depressing. I would understand those emotions, certainly recognize that. But I think it's going to backfire. I think that people are going to watch this and really start to recognize what the corruption looks like. You know, the double standards that exist here are going to be on full display for all of America to see, and we are going to be meeting and pounding the table about it all week long. So, good logic will be there. Amazing. So, we've got some amazing friends in the house, and so we'll see what everybody's up to and what you guys are seeing out there. Let's get our bearings straight, see what's going on over there, because this is what the AP has. This is what it looks like outside. So here is scenery. Now, Trump has already been inside. We're already inside. Wait to see if Trump pops out. No real audio on this.
You're
A
out
little
here.
bit of, I guess, some protesters out there. Nothing matter here. Let's see. Yeah. So a lot of Trump signs. A lot of Trump signs out there. But yes, it is not being broadcast. And it's about lunch. You know, it's about lunch. So I'm kind of wanting to see if it pops out of the door. Live updates from then 2 minutes ago. Protesters and supporters of Trump are outside. Got that. 2 hours in, they haven't even started jury selection yet. So McConnell still considering pre-trial matters. Not uncommon for judges to consider all the pre-trial motions. Trump's team is asking for the process here possibly tonight. Here's some stories. So apparently that Access Hollywood tape is not coming in. I don't know why it would. What does it have to do with a false business record? You know, but they're trying to turn it into a smear job. And if they could, they'd have Liz Cheney come testify and present all her evidence too. No, not going to do all that. So the judge is keeping the Access Hollywood tape out. We know what the tape says. The judge had previously denied
Grab by the purse.
video. They're trying to show there was this big, massive conspiracy. They're just trying to spear him, literally. It's not even about the evidence. But the judge said prosecutors were able to present internal campaign emails that have powerful evidence about language contained inside the video. Not much activity there, but as lawyers debate, Trump keeps his gaze focused. During the debate over what evidence each side be able to produce, prosecutors occasionally showed emails, articles. Trump is sitting in his seat, Judge is agreeing to allow testimony on the payment to Karen McDougal. Wow. Okay, so that's what people think, because she's not part of the indictment. The payments. All right, we talked about this, and we probably need to get our slides resituated here. Got our slides back up and play. Karen McDougal is this one here. Karen McDougal is the one who wasn't playing.
Gay.
Remember that? Yeah. So McDougal, she's not a part of the indictment because the money for her came to her from AMI, not from Michael Cohen. So now evidence of that will be coming out. Khan has agreed to bar prosecutors.
Oh, yeah. That's the channel. There's not that many quotes on this channel.
Prosecutors suppressed my video story, AMI did. And they say that Trump was paying AMI retainer money. And then from that retainer money, that was going into. But that's not a
And those are old.
charges. In this case, they got it only pertain to.
It's from last gen. Oh no, this
But
January.
just like the Enron case, like remember the Enron case, the Areola case?
The dates are European. I don't know why it does it that way.
Statute of limitations said that
It doesn't give me a choice to change it. Oh, that's on both. Someone put that one on both.
So prosecutors also plan to bring up people's claims of payment. They don't want to do this to influence the 2016 election by purchasing negative information. And that's one of those subcomponents of the crime, right? So objective events intended to commit another crime. Another crime is that.
Yeah, a little bit. World famous Toledo Mud Hens here.
Judge Mercan denies
Tigers have been doing okay.
attempt.
They started off real well, but
Protester activity
sputtered a bit.
over there.
I think they're one game behind now.
So Trump's team wanted some additional jury questions asked. They didn't get those. And he's going to allow them to talk about DA Bragg said it's not about politics. Get out of here, Bragg. Get out of here. Ran against you. Not as bad as Tish, but even before announcing the indictment. Oh, gosh. Racist tropes. Because someone calls Bragg a thug. That's
All right.
racist. He called Jack Smith a thug.
Trimming my nails.
Deranged thug. Okay, that's what he calls Jack Smith, Bragg. You are a thug. It's not racist to be called that. He called it to Jack Smith too. More on the judge's denial. So yeah, there was a motion to recuse. I'm sure we'll read through all the arguments on that. The judge's daughter, $93 million raised by Adam Schiff, who got censured, like the total historic. Trump arrives at the Manhattan court. Trump
Yeah, it's funny though. They get those great pictures and they trade them away. I think the only one they kept for most of his career was
maybe if his
Jack
father
Morris.
was a felon, then he beat him.
most of the others. They use them for a couple of years and get good money for them and trade them away. Scherzer, Verlander,
Wednesday.
who all went on to win World Series.
High school graduation.
I still have a Verlander jersey.
Barron's high school graduation. The Trump lawyer also requested June 3rd. So then he, oh, okay, good. So the Trump two sons, like, his son is going to graduate on June 3rd. That's the other. Maybe that's Todd Blanche's son. Bunch of young men graduating. Mercan said he's not prepared to rule on either request. And I thought that they said that the 17th was not. I thought Wednesdays were off anyway. So maybe that's. And yeah, okay, here you go. Just confirming it's not on a live stream. Only one room can watch a live stream of the proceedings, and it's in the courthouse. A pair of video monitors are airing the proceeding to an overflow room adjacent to the main courtroom. It's packed with press, officers, few members of the public. The list of members, and George Conway's there. He's reporting for The Atlantic, and that guy is just obsessed.
The Atlantic, that's still a thing.
Following his prosecutions everywhere. Now, Conway is married to Kellyanne, the psych bitter, right?
Are they still married? I thought that.
She chose Trump over me. So now he's on a mission. Yeah, okay. He's broadcasting the house. Ron Cinderbaldi, former account from Long Island, says he's been lining up at the courthouse since just before midnight.
I see Press NH released a video today. Press NH Now finally.
He says if they were doing this to Jimmy Carter, I'd be here too. Judge is now recusing himself. Trump spoke briefly, and so I do have that clip. Let's jump into that. And now that we're up to speed on this, let's hear from the myself. I think actually I've got a clip of this.
Over here.
Yeah, this one.
The road's getting bumpy.
Where is this one?
Is that
Here's President Trump as he walks in. Let's just see if we get a comment.
This is an assault on America. Nothing like this has ever happened before. There's never been anything like it. Every legal scholar says this case is nonsense. It should never have been brought up. This officer or anything like this. There is no case that they've said. People that don't necessarily follow or like Donald Trump. So this is an outrage that this case was brought. This is political persecution. This is a persecution like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And again, it's a case that should have never been brought. It's an assault on America. And that's why I'm very proud to be here. This is an assault on our country. And it's a country that's failing. It's a country that's run by an incompetent man who's very much involved in this case.
True.
This is really an attack on a political opponent. That's all it is. So I'm very honored to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, so that was Todd Blanche. I believe that's Emil Bowe back here. And
Nothing like this has ever been brought. Called it an outrage, and the truth is, a case like this has never been brought.
yeah, of course.
Not just for what you guys are talking about, but also the fact that this is a president. Now,
I think that's what Joe Biden definitely wants. He needs a kinetic war with us to have a chance. There hasn't been a sitting president that got into a large war and then got voted out. So I believe that's what the current administration wants.
There it is, okay. So I heard some other activity back over there. Okay, there it is. Let's kill that audio there. All right, so it is absolutely historic. It's kind of surreal. You know, we're here watching a lot of this unfold, and we've covered other cases like, you know, Chutkan trial, the J6 trial was supposed to be going back early in March, actually, and then that got postponed. And we're all kind of thinking it's going to get postponed. It's all going to get postponed. And then suddenly we're here, right? We're in the middle of jury selection on one of the most rigged cases ever. And we went through it in detail last week, and you know, it's more horrifying when you consolidate it in like 50 slides. It feels bad when we've been covering it over years, but when you consolidate it, cram it into like 2 hours of content, it's like, yeah, it's pretty bad. NY says, yeah, it's a sad day. Dems will do anything to stay in power. Anything at all. Indeed, my friends. Let's say our hellos, our good mornings. We'll poke around. We'll see what else is happening. So, the judge's daughter, who makes money off of this indictment by writing advertisements, is going to be presiding over the case brought by Alvin Bragg. This case was already declined by everybody, basically. Cyrus Vance declined it. Jeffrey Berman declined it. Alvin Bragg actually declined it until Matthew Colangelo came over from the Biden DOJ and brought it back up again. So corrupt. But a lot of people are going to be out there on the left saying, finally, justice is here, finally. Let's see what you guys say. I think I got some more stuff we'll review, more clips here, but Crash is here. Rob, what is to watch? It is called the Star Chamber for a reason. Which one of us reasonable people actually believe that the system is going to work? Reasonable, says Cohen et al. Will be given free rein on direct, and the defense will be absolutely precluded from introducing any evidence whatsoever that would impeach Cohen or anyone else. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and there will be none in the Star Chamber. I think you're probably right about a lot of that, Crash, but that doesn't mean that we stop shining, baby. It may be hard to pierce through the...
I tend to agree with you, JC.
...infected gutter of New York justice, but we're still going to be shining the spotlight down upon it, man, because it's the only thing that we can do. We have to continue to call attention.
And sorry, who gives...
I agree. I mean,
somebody a 24-hour warning that they're going to send missiles and drones.
Guys, like, we've been through this.
That's just, it just stinks. The whole thing just stinks.
E.G. Carroll, that was a New York case, Judge Engeron, and Judge Kaplan E.G. Carroll was Judge Kaplan with Roberta Kaplan and Lawrence Kaplan, the judge. And then Engeron was Tish. Like, these are both the New York system. Like, it's just criminal courts in the same stinking block. That's the other thing. It's going to be the same thing, right? These are all the same piece in a pod. And so I'm not expecting to get any semblance of justice at all. I've already seen that.
Yeah, I really don't think he has. There's a whole. He's kind of handcuffed with that, because if he does do a full-scale invasion to get those guys out, he's going to be. Everyone's going to report that he's killing babies.
I think taking the right approach on this. I think it's the right approach you can really take. It's I am a victim of a political attack.
It just seems like things could be fixed quickly, but they're not on purpose.
Nice to see you guys,
as usual.
Just so you're aware.
And generally, when the U.S. is involved in it, things get drug out.
Companies deregistered by the SEC. Hundreds of CCP linked CEOs got billions of ill-gotten gains. Hearing with the Brigadier General Spalding this Wednesday, somewhat related. Yeah, I think that's probably all intentional. I think they're probably okay with that. Why they're not investigating it? They're probably enabling it. What's up, Senior Chief? Says, I bet Bill Maher is absolutely giddy with everything that's happening in Israel and Iran. He can take the place of my daughter on the front lines, and he can get that first-hand experience since he wants depopulation and loves murder so much, says Senior Chief. Yeah, probably commenting on that, that abortion clip of him. Did you play that on Saturday? I feel like we did. Where he's like, we have too many people on this planet, so just abort everyone. I'm like, whoa, Bill. That kind of sounds anti-human. Oh yeah, that's your entire ideology. Thanks for reminding us. Yeah, K-Bean, it's an honor and a privilege to show the American people the corruption and rot in government and in politics. Privileged to be here. It's like, ancient honor. It's like you go into battle knowing you're about to get obliterated, but you do it in the name of your people. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's go. And then suddenly, your heroic action galvanizes the response. Hey, here's one from Klasfeld. It says, Blanche clarifies that this trial includes sidebar conferences during voir dire and trial, where Khan notes that could present logical issues involving Secret Service, logistical issues. Yeah, interesting. We'll see. I don't know what they necessarily mean by that. So we got, again, some more activity here. Why is this one frozen? Come on, AP. That thing's frozen. The other ones are working. All right, so we'll see if that loosens up. We got, what's up, NY? It says, I hope the prosecution knows to preserve all communications with the White House. Destruction of evidence is a crime into itself. Well, we're already there. So there's allegations that Mark Pomerantz deleted evidence. Don't believe they are beyond the reach of the law. Remember the Duke lacrosse prosecutor? He went to jail for his prosecutorial crimes. Yeah, but this is a whole different ballgame, man. This is allowed. Like, there, we all were looking around and fanning. Like, is the bar going to do anything about this? Is the ethics going to? Is the state going to? It's like, come on. I think all this is just enabled attacks on Trump. So there's not going to be any repercussion for any of this. No one cares about what Tish has done. No one cares what Engeron has done. They're all okay with it. They'll all violate the due process, equal protection of the law, the presumption of innocence, the criminal standard of beyond a reasonable doubt, ethical confines of prosecutors and bringing charges, probable cause.
We fund both sides of most wars. I mean,
they just dumped all over.
Biden removed the sanctions on Iran as soon as he took over.
We're going to remove him from the ballot, okay?
The nuclear deal kicked back in, which
that's how far gone we are.
Is supposed to mean that they're not supposed to be enriching uranium, even though we know they are.
Many of our minds, and they're not. They don't care about any of those things that I just listed. It's about Republicans don't realize that, right? Which is why we've been saying this for years. Like, if the Republicans don't recognize what's happening and do something about it, they're next. And we're living, like, we said that 2 years ago. We fast forward here, and the Republicans are not doing anything about it. Like, at all. They're too busy, to be honest, James Comer and Jim Jordan circling, chasing their
Absolutely
tails
is.
on Biden impeachment stuff.
Eisenhower warned us when he left office.
They're still going with this, and they're incompetent at that too. They can't even cobble together a theory. Have they called Garrett Ziegler at all? As far as I know, the answer is no.
He saw the
Why
power
is
of the
he
military-industrial
That's all.
complex.
They brought in Jonathan.
Power of the
Turley.
lobby
People
and-
respect that, like Jonathan Turley, but he's like, there's no evidence of a crime.
The money.
Are you nuts? It's right there. So we have, incompetence, I think, at the congressional level. I don't blame Turley for that, but they're busy about, Johnson's talking.
I mean,
about
you're
Biden.
looking a 5-star general that's telling you military bad.
Meanwhile, our
That should
whole
tell you something.
justice system is being crapped all over by the Democrats.
Come on, dude.
Like, well, Trump, la 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 la. They put their ears.
Fucking kid.
Oh, as long as I'm not seeing it, I don't care. This old guy says, if I lived in New York City, there would be a whooshing sound of me leaving. I know about that. That's true. Yeah, and I think this is probably the beginning of, it's gonna be like the Tish factor. It'll be like Tish happening in New York. We've already got the Fanny factor. So this type of justice will be coming to a city near you. What's up, Senior Chief? Don't Be Hating says, we shouldn't have so much bias in so many cases. Where are the checks and balances? Well, we used to have them, but we don't have them anymore. Yeah, they're all gone. Judges used to put some speed bumps on it. They won't even recuse themselves. Is this from Good Logic? It is. Notice of the petition. Okay, so we've got some people coming out here. What do we got cooking over here?
Yeah, but unfortunately, his skin is the only part of the game. The average person.
Of activity here. Trump! There's Trump. Just walked by. So they're probably on lunch break right now. Yep, just heard him say that. We're on a break for lunch. Oh, man. All right. It honestly, this might sound weird, but it gives me, increased, I don't want to say anxiety, but, you guys feel it? Do you have that going on, too? It's like, here we go.
That's exactly what it is anxiety.
We're doing it. All right. We've been on this road for a long time, man. I remember I was thinking about this the other day. I remember, for our membos, right? For many of you been here for a long time here. Grateful for you. Thank you for this. We have been talking about this for years now. And I remember walking around the neighborhood saying, they're going to indict him. They're probably going to indict him 4 times. And we're all just going, no way. I remember thinking, no way. Even saying it felt weird. And now we're in trial on one of the dumbest cases that they have to fabricate. We've gone through it. I mean, the points are in the record, but it's just going. They're actually going to do it. They're doing it. We knew they were going to do it. We've been saying they were going to do it, but it's also surreal when you get here. You're like, yeah, oh yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, and this judge, guys, might put him. Might say you got to home detention or something, right? Like you're locked down. We're walking on the edge of a cliff here, and they're just giddy as can be. It's wild times. It's wild times, and I can't understate this enough. And I know it probably sounds dramatic, but I think these moments are fracture points. Like you look back at history, you look at major case law,
Jesus,
and what happens when these legal cases break. They can cause civil wars. They can lead to a pressure cooker that just really, really causes major deviations. It's like the first tear of a long rip that's about to drop. And so we're all living in it right So I'm grateful to be here with you. I know it's a wild journey we're on. I know there's some tension and anxiety out there. I do think that in the end, that this is going to expose a lot of things that we could have never seen otherwise. And we never would have been able to see this but for this. And now that we're going through it, we're going to get to see it, and it's going to be disgusting. But we need to see it. You know, it's like we need to wake up. It's almost like being unplugged from the matrix for many people.
The quartering was on Crowder this morning.
They can trust their judges. They can trust their prosecutors. They can
You could
trust
tell
the
he was
court to do
nervous.
the right thing, not be
It's weird.
politicized. But in order for people to realize
Really on camera every
how
day.
far gone, you know, a lot of our institutions are, we got to go through this process. It's like, you got to see it. I know it's going to be bad. I know it's going to be a little bit painful, but we got to see it. So that's where we're at, my friends. As I said, I'm grateful that we're here together, joining through it. You're right about that, Lainey. A lot has been exposed. A lot has. And Good Logic, so this was a screenshot from Good Logic. He says, here's an update. Ungag the Trump updates. All parties were served. Says New York Tish now has a 24-hour notice of my intent to file a TRO and to stay Judge Mercan's order restraining Trump. Man, so amazing. So Good Logic is on the case, pushing forward. Shout out to Joe. And I know he's been jumping through some hoops. Yeah, Rocky says, when it gets foggy, just means we need to brighten the light, baby. That's right. We just gotta, you know, there's always, like everything, there's always a reaction, equal and opposite reaction. Let's see what you guys say. Spud says, in the meantime, Onondaga County deputy, police officers dead because of New York's enforcement. I live about 15 minutes away from where this incident happened. A shooter ID'd in the killing of an officer, which sounds terrible. Yeah, terrible. So peace to his family, prayers for him. It's a wild scene there. Jeremy says, the weaponization of the legal system got me thinking about how this could possibly be prevented besides ethical thinking. Imagine a future where people have to have a data logging system capable of recording not only your movement, thoughts, and intentions behind your actions, but also be conceptually aware of everyone you interact with. You know, ignoring the personal implications of this logger, imagine being in front of a judge while your legal team plays back the historical record that exonerates you. Yeah, I see what you're saying, JC. I think there's like a sci-fi out there. I think I remember watching an episode of something like that, where like everything's recorded, and so they can just like scrub back through your like, oh, let's just rewind it. Oh yeah, you did murder that dude. Okay, prison. Oh wow. Okay. Curious. Shiloh's mom says, it does feel like a fracture point. I'm looking forward to the dam bursting one way or the other. It's about time, says Shiloh's mom. It feels like we're there, yeah. I mean, I'm not comfortable living in like Joe Biden's new America, to be honest with you. So if it's got to get worse before it gets better, okay, that's fine.
JC.
I grew up as a boy believing we had free speech.
I hear your name in a lot of chats, but I don't know.
That we were a competent,
a lot of them that I watch anyway.
Values of liberty, freedom, that we were.
I don't know why this is acting up.
All, you know, leaders in the free world, and we were a good moral country and all those things. And that has shifted dramatically. And like by definition, we don't even really talk about free speech anymore. And even a huge portion of our culture is okay with that. It's dangerous if you have free speech. Like our brothers and sisters in America are like, you can't say that. That's dangerous.
Being school kid.
What? So we are gonna have to have an awakening before I think a lot of this gets resolved. Sandy says, Good Logic was denied access to view the trial. What on earth? How could they do that? New York court is refusing media right to access the trial. Claims insufficient room to accommodate the media. So it's just full, it sounds like, from Joe. Oh my gosh, let's listen a little bit. What's up, Joe?
100 Center Street, the site of the New York County Criminal Courthouse, where former President Donald Trump is currently standing trial. I have been denied access to not merely the courtroom, but the viewing room, told that it has been full capacity and that no more media is allowed to access that room.
Wow.
I have complained to security here. I've had security groups who have been Major Allen. He informed me that they are not prepared to handle the onslaught of media here, and I expressed to him.
It's such a joke. This is such a joke. They gag Trump so he can't talk about it. They don't stream it. They don't put the public record on public access so we can't see any of it. They say, judge says, you're free to come in. Just come on in. The reason why we're not going to live stream it, the reason why we don't need to publish it is it's open to the public. Come on in. Public wants to come on in. They don't even have enough room for them. Open up another room, okay? Stream another camera, right? It's a joke. They don't want you to see it. So they say, hey, AP, come on in. Washington Post, come on in. Hey, you know, CNN, you got a space, whatever. Joe wants to go in. No, it's full. Sorry, it's full.
First Amendment rights of freedom of press. Now, freedom of press does not merely extend to people who have hollow credentials like a New York City press badge, but that any American who's interested in watching this trial, which is arguably the most critical criminal trial in the history.
And he's fired up. Good. Get it, Joe.
Should be permitted to access it under our basic fundamental First Amendment rights. He instructed me that I should speak with the Court Director of Communications, a gentleman by the name of Al Baker, and voice my concerns there. So I do intend to follow up on this.
Good.
And if the court cannot provide access to the media or to anyone who wants to watch this, there should be a dispensation wherein the normal New York rule prohibiting cameras in the courtroom must be dispensed with in this case. This is a case that the entire country cares about. Millions, tens of millions of Americans, if not hundreds, care about
It's
this
a
trial,
national
its outcome,
issue.
and how these proceedings go from start to finish, from jury selection through verdict. And the inability of the court to provide access. And they don't provide access on site. They can provide access in some room uptown.
Yeah, totally.
Someplace that we can actually watch this trial. And the court cannot provide that. Then we must stream this trial from inside the courtroom to the entire world, which is arguably what they should have been doing from the get-go. So I intend to be following up on this and letting you know how things progress on this front. Take care. Godspeed.
Godspeed, Joe. Man, he's fired up, you can see, as he should be. It's just ridiculous. And, you know, it's like a sick joke. Honestly, it's like a joke. I can't even
Where was the fire?
believe that it's happening, but it is. So you don't get to see what's going on. They're going to wage war against their political opponent under dark of night. No one can see it. Only their little approved live tweeters will be the ones who can handle it. And they're too busy. They're too full. Got it. What's up, Wild Things? Says, I'm worried of the consequences of a fake trial with a corrupt judge and jury and a fake guilty verdict. That's the scary part. And to think that they could actually lock him up and then what? Would he even be able to pardon himself based on it being federal charges? So, no, I don't think so. I don't think he could pardon himself because it's a state charge. And I think that would stick. So, yeah, I mean, I think your concern is valid. Like, your worry is valid. And I think probably the best realistic option that you could hope for would be something like a hung jury, right? Mistrial, hung jury. There's disagreement in the panel. You get one holdout, you get two holdouts. Just call it a hung jury. Now, again, there was a great question that came up last week that after the show was over, this happens all the time, after the show's over, I was like, ugh, I wish I said that. You know when you have those conversations with people, like, I should have said that. It happens to me like every day after the show. I'm like, yes, missed it. So it was the question that came up was about consequences of this. And there, the big consequence. So again, the big consequence.
Absolutely.
Very low likely.
If I can't do notification, I will hang it up. Even if I think the person's guilty.
What does the GOP do, right? If he's convicted, do they try to remove him? Do they try to nominate someone else? I think it's
because that's how broken the shit is.
Likely, because there would be, mutiny in the party. Like, it's kind of a foregone conclusion at this point.
I'll be the one dissenter, no matter what side the rest go on.
This, if he is a quote convicted felon or the party nominee, and maybe we fast forward, he's a convicted felon. Maybe the polls show he suddenly drops 10 points behind Joe. Whatever. The RNC comes up with a fake excuse. He's a felon. We have a choice to make. We got to nominate Nikki Haley, and they do something at the convention on the pretext of a felon. No,
I'm serious.
Convicted felon. That was the only I thought.
Well, I don't know if I know they're guilty, but still, it's
consequence, right? Felony consequence. You don't get to vote. Don't have a right to.
I'm all about jury nullification, though.
Apartment somewhere or something. They may ask him about it. Criminal history, job report, stuff like that. Criminal history, criminal record. But in terms of having him removed from the ballot, I don't think they have the power to do that anymore. The Supreme Court in Anderson said that is a congressional right.
Where's this guy going?
So the other.
Oh, he's just gonna go against traffic.
They're calling this the election interference.
Get you a dog.
So what if they parlay that into something? Okay, he was the president at the time. So now Congress comes in. Now Congress says he has been convicted of election interference for falsifying a business record. Like, Congress can make up whatever they want. So they impeach him in Congress because they get rid of Mike Johnson or something. Marjorie ultimately impeaches Johnson. I got a great clip, I think, of Rand Paul here. We'll listen to that one next, where they're saying, stuff from Congress. And basically, the Republicans are not in control of Congress, right, at all. It sounds like we are because we have Mike Johnson, but it's really a Democrat Congress. So what happens if Trump gets impeached and convicted because they control the Senate? Something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That was actually in a murder trial in Detroit. A juror in a murder trial in Detroit.
Now that's been decided in the court of law. So they introduced a new.
We ended up finding him guilty.
Impeachment, even though he's not the president.
The kid did it.
They can't impeach him, but they'll pass a resolution that declares J6.
What's silly is they offered that guy 10 years.
And
a deal for 10 years if he pled guilty because there was so much evidence against him.
He's been charged in J6, and the J6 committee has found him to whatever, so they passed a new.
And he turned it down and ended up getting life without the
game
possibility
it out.
of parole.
Likelihood, but kind of thinking out loud here, because what are
Felony murder
to this? So let's speak about some of the people who are the connivers. This was Raskin. So he was out, I think this was like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday on Inside Jen Psaki's show on MSNBC.
That was in the 90s.
He loves going on
early 2000s.
He is here
90s.
talking about this case. Here's what Raskin said.
I gotta answer this. Hello.
Hey. Hello. Normal, right?
No. I mean, we added the cameras, but these issues cropped up a couple weeks after the cameras. It's not the internet, although I might get a better deal with one of the fiber providers. I already got a quote in for them to get, or for them to give us a quote. But generally, the monthly rate is not that bad with these people, but it's going to be the installation.
Gotcha.
That's
that might be worth doing though. If you
yeah. It's 2 gigs up and down. So, but that's the other thing. I mean, the most we've ever hit at peak usage was 80% download and 40% upload. That's at peak usage when we've had almost.
That's what I was trying to figure out, because when they were talking about their computers are going out, the internet's down, computers going down.
Well, yesterday was me doing work on it. I told them, I warned them, I'm like, you guys are going to have issues today because I had to move each individual TV connection over to the virtual LAN. So that's why they were having issues.
What I'm saying is, like, how does it work on one computer but not the other?
Yeah, and that's it too. I mean, that one nurse, she's like, look, I don't have any connections. I'm like, first of all, if you open up your available Wi-Fi's and you don't see anything, there's something wrong with your computer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're going to see the printers, you're going to see everything that broadcasts, you're going to see everybody's phone that's broadcasting, and you're going to look for legends. If you don't see anything, it's not the network. especially when the computer right next to you is working.
I'm going to be there Wednesday, so I think I'm going to play around with everybody's computers.
All right. I mean, the blue screen, there could be a million things there. It could be my first guess with the tech computer is remove the camera software, remove the LI tech. I mean, I don't even see. That's another thing I got pissed off over the weekend. I started checking on the cameras, making sure, because a bunch of them needed firmware updates, which, you know, happens. But I noticed that a bunch of them had been turned off from detecting motion. I'm like, who the hell did that?
Yeah, but who has access to them to do that?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can do it from I haven't even tried to adjust settings from the desktop, but that's why I initially made a different login, a read-only login for the text. But yeah. I don't even see the need for it. I mean, if something happens, one of us can pull it down. Yeah. And the more people that are viewing that all the time, that's even more stress on the network. And
I mean, honestly, I think they just got it on the desktop or on the monitor at the front.
Yeah, no, yeah, right? I did it for him. I was like, here, and then I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, wow, I just gave him a reason not to get up and go look and go do rounds, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So, but yeah, I mean, usually those blue screens, it means it's a hardware issue or a software issue on that individual computer. So the usually the steps you go through is removing programs that you really don't need on there. And the first one I would remove from that one would be the camera software.
The text. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see what else, see if it plays out. I mean, all right. It might not have any more issues, but.
Yeah, and I actually made it to where the employees can actually use Messenger as well, because I had a few people saying, hey, why can't we even do it? I'm like, well, to block them, I got to block YouTube. But now, since I have this virtual network, I set it up, and it seems to be working now fine with everything but TVs. So
okay.
All right.
All right, cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Yep, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry, guys. Hey, Midwest, I seen you. Hey, someone. You guys got here just in time for me to end the stream. I'm probably going to do a desktop, depending on how crazy it is inside.
Can we have that? No.
Obviously, I've been busy as fuck this morning. That's why I even left late, because I was doing some work.
Only one that we've had that has been arguably neutral, not even in favor of Trump at all, but just neutral, is Cannon. And the left hates her guts.
Michael?
So, all right. Now, this is one of the first scenes, it looks like.
Ooh, a breakfast burger. That sounds good.
So that was Raskin over there.
All right, guys. Check for the main channel notification. If I'm able to, I'm gonna get it going. I just don't know how much I'm gonna be able to play. It just depends on how many of these interviews show up, and hopefully one of them already rescheduled for tomorrow. So we'll see. If it's not busy, hell, we may even do some driving today. After I make some calls.
Let's see who's here. What do you guys say about all
right, guys.
It is
love you.
A beautiful day. Any comments? Any
Peace.
thoughts on this? Hey, what's up, Jennifer? Just sent in a nice super